Guys, today is all about elevator speeches for bookkeepers. So how to sell yourself to a potential client or someone in your network in about 30 seconds or less. So I'm going to tell you what to include as well as give you some templates and helpful examples. My name is Morgan and my website is FinePoints.biz. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I'm assuming you probably have heard the phrase elevator speech before, but like I said, it's just a really quick introduction if you're like at a cocktail party or in an elevator talking to someone just for a really short amount of time. Leave me a comment below if you know the term elevator speech or if you call it something different. So I'm going to jump right into my first template because I think this is really going to help you guys out. Then I'm going to get into the three big categories that I think that you need to include, which are who you are, who you help, and then some kind of call to action. All right, so here's kind of an example template. You can actually screenshot this and then fill it in later if you want. And as the video goes on, I'm going to fill these in for you with both my information and then just some random examples. My name is, and I own the bookkeeping firm, the name of your firm. I help blank by using blank. One of my clients sounds a lot like you. They were really stressed about blank and they couldn't blank. So I, as their bookkeeper, was able to come up with a solution. And because of my help, this was their result. So be as specific as possible. Here's my contact information. And then give that call to action. So you can see in that example was those three categories. I'm going to dive into each of those and different options about what you can talk about it within those categories. And I would recommend that you write this out and practice it, maybe practice it with your friends and family, and just get really comfortable explaining more about your business, what you do, who you help, so it just comes very naturally the next time you're asked about it in a networking situation. All right, the first one is who you are. Very basic. You want to definitely say your name and maybe your business name. You can also talk a little bit about your background, maybe if you just graduated from college, where you graduated from. In my example coming up, I say how many years I've been a bookkeeper, and you might even want to include your why. Something like, I really just love coming alongside startup companies who don't know anything about their bookkeeping and just help them get started like up and running from the ground up, or whatever your why is, hopefully in relation to helping clients. And just a quick note, I have these three separate subjects and then a couple bullet points under each one. I don't want you to include everything in all of them. I don't want you to talk about all the bullet points, but pick and choose the ones that are most relevant to you and really speak to you and your business and what you want to communicate. Because remember, we're trying to keep this as concise as possible. And obviously, as you're talking to people, you're going to want to read the situation and tailor it depending on who your audience is. It might actually be awkward if you just spew this whole speech 30 seconds worth in a very rehearsed way. So in my experience, I often found that I say, oh, I'm a bookkeeper, and then someone asks a follow-up question, and then I'm able to clearly communicate what I do and who I help. So it might change based on the formality of the situation. If it's a job interview, you might want to have the more practiced exact speech, and it might help to identify who you're talking to. Are you talking to a potential client? Are you talking to an accountant who might be able to refer people to you? Are you talking to, someone in the community who knows a lot of small business owners and maybe they'll refer, their friends to you? So kind of think about who you're talking to and what information is most pertinent. Number two is kind of the meat of the elevator speech. So it's who you help and how you help them. So in this section, it may be really good to connect with the person that you're speaking with. So maybe they're a realtor and you are a bookkeeper for real estate agents, and maybe you've had experience with that in the past. So you could say something like, I have 5 years of experience selling real estate, and then I noticed that there was this really big need for bookkeepers and for help managing finance for this certain industry, and so that's why I became a bookkeeper. So if you have something like that, that could really help connect you to the person you're talking to. As well as stories. These are very powerful, giving specific examples and specific results. You're not just saying that you're good at this job, you actually have specific results that you have been. So I know when I trained in my corporate job and when I trained other people to interview, we did all tell me about a time questions. So that really forced people to think of those specific examples of how did they increase sales? How did they get past that problem with a coworker? The more specific, the better. So you'll see in my example in just a minute, I talk about how someone helped create a system for accounts receivable, and that actually increased revenue by 20%. All right, and then within this number 2 as well, you can talk about anything unique to your business. So maybe a certain niche that you're in, maybe you're really excited about working with women-owned businesses or some other segment that you're really excited about. Maybe you specialize in a certain accounting software, or you really love doing payroll. Anything like that you can add in if applicable. And then within this section, you might also need to mention, like, what does a bookkeeper do? Because not everyone is going to know and understand that. And again, that is where kind of reading the audience comes in. Because some people are like, wait, you're a bookkeeper. What does that mean exactly? Is that like an accountant? Or what exactly do you do? So there's definitely varying levels of understanding the bookkeeper role. So before I get to the third call to action piece, here is a little clip of my elevator speech, and you can see kind of how I work these numbers 1, 2, 3 into what I'm saying. Hey, my name is Morgan Law, and I've owned a bookkeeping business for about 8 years. My clients are small business owners, and I help them organize their finances. Lots of my clients come to me because they're really stressed and they want to pay better attention to their books, but they don't make it a priority. So I take away that constant looming worry, and I send them clear monthly reports. And I can also help out with invoicing, bill pay, and payroll. Here's my email address. Do you have any time next week that we can sit down for a meeting? Number 3 is that you want to leave them with a call to action. You don't want to just be like, oh, they learned something about me, I'll never see you again. If you want to set up a meeting with them or create some kind of future relationship, it's really good to call it out specifically what you need, what you're looking for. Are you looking for an internship? Are you looking for referrals? What is it that they can do for you? And what is the next step in your guys' relationship? So some examples, like I mentioned, set up a meeting. You could give them your business card or your website. You could connect on LinkedIn or a different social media network. Probably a professional network is the best bet here. And you could give them your email address. And if they do seem genuinely interested in meeting with you again, I think it's best to be as specific as possible in terms of setting that date. Maybe like, oh, are you free next Tuesday? Or do you have any time later in the month? You can even put it on your calendar right then if that seems appropriate. So here is another example for you guys. This is the template that I had at the very beginning, all filled in with some examples. My name is Rory Gilmore, and I own the bookkeeping firm Accounting Girls. I help doctors' offices by creating systems using QuickBooks invoicing. One of my clients sounds a lot like you. They were stressed about cash flow and they couldn't get their patients to pay on time. I was able to set them up in QuickBooks, send them monthly reports, and as a result, their revenue has increased by 20%. Because I put that system in place to assist with their accounts receivable. Here's my business card. Let me know if you'd like to meet up and talk more about your business pain points. I'm gonna find some other videos about interviewing and getting clients. I'll link those in the description box down below for you guys. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you learned anything today and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.